teams battle. The first time they play in the ACC. SMU still sort of new kids on the block here in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
As the referee blows his whistle, the clock begins to tick. And so we begin September. Coming to an end in South Bend with the Irish and the Mustangs in play. Mustangs in red, Notre Dame in green. Still September, but it's starting to look like Christmas with the kit choice today for both teams.
Yeah, I do like it though. Both jerseys pretty crisp, and excited for a great day of soccer at Storage, AJ.
The Irish are going to have the first throw-in of the match. It's Wyatt Borso. Looks to make a move with Burden. KK Baffer in motion, going back to Alex Rosin. Now starting for his 6th consecutive game. Has become a fundamental piece of the Irish backline as a left back. Ian Shaw with the ball towards Wyatt Lewis. Lewis looking for options, goes back for Mitch Ferguson, the hat-trick hero for the Irish on Tuesday. Mitch Ferguson scoring 3 goals that with his goal against Oregon State make him the lead goal scorer for the Irish. We're going to get corner number 1 here. Take a look as well as the Kevin Hudson era continues in SMU for its 11th straight season.
Yeah, Kevin Hudson has built a real formidable program. SMU went to the Elite 8 last year, lost to Marshall 3-2, but a fantastic season, and so far they've shown similar flashes in 2025.
Spicer with a quick corner on the first post. KK Bafford keeps the ball on Notre Dame side. Long ball looking towards Ferguson. You can see the coverage that's coming towards Ferguson. The Mustangs want nothing to know of what happened on Tuesday night. Luke Burden in the box. Play on, says the referee, as Charles-Emile Brunet gets possession for the Mustangs.
Definitely the right call there. Although Burton does go down, I do like his run in behind the defense, and it was a lovely ball to find him. Unlucky just not to get the clean first touch on it.
The ball on the move with Slade Starnes. One of the 2 captains on the pitch for the Mustangs. Starnes from Dallas, Texas, one of the many seniors in a Mustang team that has 17 returners this season with 13 newcomers, only 5 of which are freshmen, 8 transfers from them. You can't say the same thing really from the Notre Dame side with only 2 transfers coming with the grad students, the rest being freshmen that are joining Chad Riley's class.
Yeah, very different in how they build the program, JJ.
Looking for the header. Couldn't get a hold of it.
Another nice run from Burton, but back to those transfers. They have 8. Emmanuel's one of them. He was a JUCO player for a couple of years, as well as Starnes, who led Furman to the NCAA tournament. But another look at this, a lovely dink inside the 18, and Burton was right there, just a little too much on that ball, but a really clever and promising chance for Notre Dame early in this one.
Luke Burton, one of those freshmen in Chet Riley's team. He has become a great duo with Wyatt Borso. 5 goals and 2 assists for them throughout this season. 2 goals coming from Luke Burton. The other 3 coming from Borso himself. 17 goal scorers now for the 13 goals that the Irish have scored throughout the season as KK Baffer makes his move through the right. Unusual spot for him, but KK still with the explosiveness that characterizes his play style. Escorcia was trying to get a hold of him. Daniel Escorcia on the move. John Rush is going to say foul in favor of the Mustangs. Have quite a task ahead of them as they face Notre Dame. Landsberg with the ball towards Martin Dominguez. Pressure coming in from Wyatt Borso. Jalen Mecho now on the move. Foul was being asked. Play on, says John Rush. Alex Rosin with the ball towards Borso. Goes out for a throw-in. The Irish ranked 21st in part by the magical of the odd number years in its 8th season for Chad Riley with the Irish.
Chad Riley also has done so well with Notre Dame. Went to the College Cup 2021 and 2023, 7 total tournament appearances. He's built a really strong program, and it's the culture that he instills. He likes to play a possession brand of soccer, exciting brand of soccer, as you know, JJ. And so far, so good in 2025. Notre Dame have been flying after those early couple of draws to start the season.
Wyatt Lewis with the ball. Great move from Wyatt Lewis, finding Burden. Lewis still in the box in between 3 men. Play on, says the referee. Wyatt Borshow was trying to get a hold of it. Dispossessed by the Mustangs. Great move there by Mitch Ferguson, but there's space for Milton Lopez to try and run. Shan McDowd goes back for Blake Kelly's first touch of the match. The early minutes have been a story of Notre Dame's high pressure and what they can offer, sort of setting the tempo in the game.
Yeah, you go back to that Pitt game, even the Louisville game, they've scored so many goals off of pressing in that attacking third. As we take another look here at Wyatt Lewis, looks like Andres Iniesta, a little croqueta right there, right around Brunet. Just sublime, his technical ability on the ball, and goes down inside the box. No call.
Lewis again in the ball. Lucas Emmanuel was saying that that ball was out. Play on, says the referee. Ian Shaw with the ball towards Alex Rosen. Rosen with a cross looking for Wyatt Borshow. Had it away by the Mustangs defense. The ball still in play as Jalen Mitchell is now in charge of covering Borshow. Great move by Borshow trying to find Burton. Keke Bafour with a nutmeg towards his own teammate. Now the Mustangs in possession. This could be a long ball towards Emmanuel. Mitchell prefers to keep it short. Now the ball towards Mukisa. Great move for the Mustangs through the midfield. Here come SMU, Ryan Clanton Pimentel. The ball towards the right. Charles Emile Brunet. Motion towards Escorcia. Daniel and Charles Emile on the ball for the Mustangs. A little bit back towards Slade Storms. Alex Salvo, the Spanish, also one of the key players for the Mustangs in the midfield. Salvo, one of their captains, originally from Madrid, now living in Copo, Texas, has featured in all Mustangs matches the last 2 seasons. This season, however, only 4 starts for him as another cross attempted by the Mustangs. Ferguson gets a hold of it. The ball still in play by Ryan Clanton Pimentel. In between Lewis. Pimentel wants to get another cross. It comes to the second post. The header coming in. And there was a foul. Ball for the Irish.
Well, that was a picture-perfect ball into the back post. It all started with that initial counter-attacking opportunity for SMU. Then they did well just to possess the ball after Notre Dame able to drop back. But right here, a beautiful ball into the back post. SMU unlucky, but that was indeed a foul. And Notre Dame with a sigh of relief after that one, JJ.
Sign of relief as that ball had hit the crossbar from the Mustangs header. It's what we expected in a game like this to be relatively even despite the story of both teams' seasons being a little different. The Irish being ranked, SMU with 3 wins, 2 losses, and 3 draws. It's a Mustangs team that has a lot of experience within college soccer. A considerable amount of seniors that last season was their 7th tournament appearance in the Kevin Hudson era, and that has things to offer to challenge opponents like Notre Dame.
Yeah, and last year they faced 10 opponents inside the top 25. They started this year ranked inside the top 25, although they've had a tough schedule. They've played several ranked opponents. You go back to one of their first games against Kansas City, and then recently against Clemson. They tied Clemson 1-1. So they've been able to battle in those games, and I don't think the ranking is as indicative of how good of a program SMU is.
They fell in the NCAA quarterfinals to number 8 Marshall last season after having 4 wins, 3 losses, and 3 draws throughout their games played. SMU as well with the experience from a lot of their seniors, 5 freshmen as well coming in, but we can see it there. 11 seniors and 1 grad student. It's a relatively upperclassman roster that has been in the Kevin Hudson era, that knows what to expect from them, even if the season hasn't gone their way. Many of these seniors are now in a space where they're called to step it up, to score some goals and produce more in attack to accompany Kevin Hudson's play styles and ideas.
They are called to step it up, but at the same time, a lot of these seniors and upperclassmen in general are transfers. So some of them are still technically new to this program, still trying to figure out how Hudson wants them to play. And in college soccer, it's a quick season. Games come at you very fast. So they're going to need to start figuring out and putting results together because they've had the performances. They've been able to hang in several games. But now it's about turning those draws and even some of those close losses into 3-point victories.
Trying to do that here tonight in South Bend. Luke Burden putting some pressure on the Mustangs. Early exit of the ball. And also avoiding any danger there for the Mustangs. Wyatt Lewis now on the ball. Mukisa Emmanuel on coverage. Ian Shaw with the ball towards Spicer. Spicer's going to go back with Lewis. The Mustangs defending with their wingbacks, joining the 3-man back line in defense and joining the midfield to make it a 6-man midfield. When it comes to attacking, as Ryan Clanton Pimentel is going to make a move here with Charles-Emile Brunet.
We talked a lot about Mukisa Emmanuel up top and how great he is at scoring goals. I like how he's now come back into the midfield a little bit. He won the ball right there for SMU, and he's done that several times. He's been the guy that they want to lead their build-up play with. So something to keep an eye out for as they feed him once again.
Landsberg with the ball towards Mukisa. Emmanuel couldn't find one of his teammates. Spicer gets a hold of it. Nolan Spicer is going to go with KK Bafour. Back with Sean McDowd. Alex Rosen. Diego Ochoa. Ian Shaw. And the Irish moving the ball now right with Lewis. Wyatt Borso asking for the cross. Lewis attempted, dreamed, and went back with Ferguson. 11 Mustangs in their half of the pitch with the defensive support. Notre Dame gets a hold of the ball and slows things down in what was a quick start where the Irish had some opportunities, but so did the Mustangs. Ryan Clanton Pimentel are trying to start things up for the Mustangs. Great move there by Escorcia. Daniel in motion. Escorcia could get a ball towards Jalen Mitchell. From the right, the Mustangs attempting to attack Mitchell with a cross. Looking to the second post. Mitch Ferguson was there to cover it. Alex Salvo gives the ball in play for the Mustangs. Brunet goes back with Salvo. Alex. Charles-Emile Brunet. Ball towards Mukisa Emmanuel. Great move towards Lopez in the box. Lopez looking for Emmanuel. The Irish can get it out. Jalen Mitchell attempted as well to get there. And the Mustangs still with a dangerous opportunity here. Trying to get a shot, trying to find that open space where they can possess some danger for the Irish. Switch and play with Jalen Mitchell. Mukisa in the box, as is Lopez. Jalen Mitchell trying to get across. KK Baffer on the coverage. Mitchell gets into the box in between KK Baffer now with coverage from Osin. It goes still in place, says the referee. Charles-Emile Brunet looking for an option. Goes back with Panoso.
Well, you can see how crafty Jalen Mitchell is. He drew a penalty for SMU against UNC. It set up Emmanuel's goal in their 1-1 draw.
Charles-Emile Brunet back with Landsberg. The Swedish Wofford transferred on his first season with the Mustangs, has played and started in 08 games this season. 1 assist on opening night against Kansas City. One of those players in Hudson's team that has played the full 90 minutes across all 8 games. As the leading man in attack tries to get a hold of the ball, Mukisa Emmanuel with a great move looking towards Lopez. Handball was being asked, play on, says the referee. And now the Mustangs are going to slow things up here. But it seems that in this phase of the game where the Mustangs have been able to find some attacking threats, they've also done it with some more danger than Notre Dame has done it throughout the early minutes of the game.
Yeah, they've been able to possess the ball now for the past 3 minutes or so, and this will tire out the Notre Dame defense, something SMU is going to look to do. I like how patient they are, though. They're not trying to force any chances. If they're not there, they're happy just to move the ball and wait for their opportunity.
Alex Rosen trying to get a hold of the ball. The Mustangs recover. Charles-Emile Brunet on the move. Brunet looking for options. Goes out left with Jalen Mitchell. Mitchell can get a hold of it. It goes out for an Irish throw-in. Jalen Mitchell active early in the game. The junior from La Mirada, California, has featured in all 21 Mustang matches last season, notching 3 goals and 2 assists. This season, had 2 assists on opening night, but is yet to open his goal count with SMU.
He's much more of a creator. The pitch is more of a dance floor for Jalen Mitchell. He's a guy who likes to utilize his crafty moves out on the right wing. And we've seen that already time and time again in the past 5 minutes or so as SMU have dominated possession of the ball.
Enzo Panoso with the long ball towards Clanton Pimentel. Ryan Clanton Pimentel going to be forced to go back with Brunet, gets a feint. Now goes back with Charles Emil. All towards Escorcia. Daniel Escorcia. Covered by Bird, and Escorcia can't get a proper pass towards a teammate. It's going to be an Irish recovery. And that's the Irish attempt here to get a quick ball. It seemed to be a moment where the Mustangs were trying to offer some high pressure, and the Irish were able to overcome that high pressure and now retain the ball, ease things down.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, and at least just on the ball was Wyatt Lewis, who has had a terrific performance through the first 15 minutes or so, has had a few good moments on the ball. Irish also have done well to find Luke Burton over the top, but haven't seen it in the past few minutes, so they need to get back to what they started this game with, because they had a lot of success in the early few minutes.
Milton Lopez on the move for the Mustangs. Was asking for a foul. Referee says throw in Irish. Milton Lopez, the junior, just like Jalen Mitchell, leading the midfield with the Mustangs. Last season, a pivotal figure in the team with 11 starts and 6 goals, including a brace in that Elite 8 match.
Yeah,
important goals.
Yeah, very important goals. Came up clutch for the Mustangs.
This season has 3 goals already and 2 assists. 3 goals from 7 shots on goal. Not a bad stat line, tell you that.
And he salvaged a point for them against Kansas City. It was a header in the final 8 minutes of the match. Found a nice pocket of space, able to fire it away. So Milton Lopez, somebody to watch out for. SMU have worked the ball through him, but I'd like to see him get a bit more involved, JJ.
Of course, we'll put in some high pressure. That's going to lead for a goal kick for SMU. Martin Dominguez back as a starter today. The Oregon State transfer had 50 saves last season across 16 matches and 5 shootouts. This season has been a story of this specific part of September, featuring in the last 2 games against Clemson and North Carolina. 2 important games for them, not necessarily his best games on goal. But Hodgson giving him the full trust here. Again, as we can see, the last 2 games only 2 goals allowed by SMU, but those 2 goals as well have been important when it comes to their ambitions for the remaining of the season.
It has been. He made a save from point blank in the final minutes against UNC. So to have him in between the sticks provides a nice added element of comfort for head coach Kevin Hudson. See how he holds up against an Irish offense, though, that has been very potent in the past month.
As we see the Mustangs attack as well, let's see if SMU can repeat the performance that Wright State did on Tuesday, becoming the first team to score more than 2 goals in a single game against Notre Dame this season. Brunet with a shot. It's going to be deflected and goes out for a throw-in. It's going to be corner kick number 1 for SMU. Second corner of the match after an early corner for Notre Dame. Charles Emile Brunet ready to put it in motion.
I like the attempt on net from Brunet, because as much as SMU has had the ball, haven't seen a whole lot of shots, and just put something on net. Now you have a corner set piece and a great opportunity to put the ball away here.
Charles Emile with a hand up. Boston players moving in the box. Corner comes in. Header from Diego Ochoa to send it out for a Mustangs throw-in. It's important for the Irish to have that concentration on defense like in the set pieces. We saw how quickly the story of the game against Wright State turned for them on Tuesday.
Yeah, they got a taste of their own medicine because Notre Dame has been spectacular on set pieces throughout this season.
Enzo Panoso ready to put it in motion for the Mustangs. Cross coming into the box. Blake Kelly gets out and gets a hold of the ball. And a little hog as well from Alex Heibel. Fair play. We love sportsmanship here.
We love it. It's a terrific save from Blake Kelly commanding his box. For SMU, you got to put that ball a bit outside the 6. If you leave it inside the 6-yard box, it's Blake Kelly's every day of the week.
Wyatt Lewis goes back with Mitch Ferguson. Nolan Spicer on the move. Spicer, one of those men that was able to break what started as a difficult match for the Irish against Louisville and ended up being a walk through the park in the second half with a 3-0 scoreline. And a huge win for the Irish. Spicer scored that second goal.
What a goal it was. Yeah, that goal. That goal was beautiful.
Spicer as well has taken over the right wing for Chad Riley this season as Alex Rosen makes a cross into the box that Martin Dominguez is going to get a hold of it without any trouble. You can also see the differences as well in how both teams attack so far into the game. Ryan Clanton Pimentel has gotten some opportunities to send those crosses. He's rather kept it steady, waited for support to come in, and then sends the cross. Rosin now more than one cross as well that comes as soon as he can send it.
Yeah, Notre Dame have been a bit more direct. And they have physical forwards up top who love to chase onto those balls. Now just a matter of executing.
Execution trying to be done by the Mustangs. Jalen Mecho gets another hold of the ball. Mecho in between two men. He gets a run, gets his pace, and gets a shot that's blocked by Diego Ochoa. Mustangs corner on the right.
That's pure downhill running from Jalen Mitchell. Lowers the center of gravity and just explodes. So tough for any defender to stop Mitchell. You really just got to force a shot and try to deflect it. It's exactly what Notre Dame does.
Charles-Emile Brunet back on the corner, ready to put it up in the air for the Mustangs unless they have another tactical set piece prepared. John Rush blows the whistle. The Mustangs are ready for the corner kick. Brunet goes short. They had something else prepared. As Corsia into the box, the header coming in. Blake Kelly gets a hold of it.
I like the creativity from SMU, straight from the training ground once again. We saw it on the throw-in a bit earlier, and now here with the corner kick.
The Mustangs being creative so far in play, trying to continue improving their record this season. It's a story this season for SMU that hasn't necessarily reflected what was expected from them at the beginning. In preseason, they were ranked number 5 in the soccer coaches preseason poll, also number 5 in the ACC preseason poll. But they still have a month and a half to change things up as a quick run here is made by Spicer. Nolan Spicer into the box in between 3 men. Wyatt Lewis looking for KK Bafour and now dispossessed by Escorcia. As I was saying before that quick turn, SMU still looking as well to change things up in the month and a half because they are a team with high expectations coming within the college soccer world for them.
Yeah, they were ranked to start the season. They went to the Elite 8 last year, as we mentioned. The one that stings the most, though, for the Mustangs is the loss to Incarnate Word because they dominated that game. They had 65% possession of the ball. They let in a sloppy goal to let Incarnate Word win in the final minutes of the game. So if you're SMU, as we talked about before, it's executing and seeing out those tight games. Even if you're in a close one against a so-called lesser opponent, You got to be able to get the job done. It's something Kevin Hudson, I'm sure, has talked to his team about. And now they have a great test against a ranked opponent, Notre Dame. If you win this game, you get right back on track. You have 4 wins, and you can fly into the rest of the ACC play with a lot more confidence and some juvu heading into those Big Ten games.
Amen. Let's send you to the SMU dressing room, Chris Daly. They could be motivated by those words, and those are very true indeed. The Mustangs with 2 draws to start their ACC play. Notre Dame with 2 wins. But again, different context of how that unbeaten stat line comes into play for both teams.
Yeah, it is important to note, too, that SMU did play against UNC, who's always a great program, and Clemson, who have won 2 national championships in recent years. They're one of the best programs in the country, hands down, and they have some of the most talented players. You look at Rashford, Guion, and a lot of the guys the Tigers have. They are such a tough team to beat. It was 1-1. That is a pretty impressive result, all things considered.
Going to be an Irish throw-in, says John Rush. Wyatt Lewis, the man in charge of putting it back in motion. Looking for Borso. Wyatt Lewis. Mustangs recover. Daniel Escorcia looking for Milton Lopez. Lopez with the ball towards Ryan Clanton Pimentel, and the Mustangs in full swing and attack, getting into the ball. Clanton Pimentel with a shot. Blocked by Ferguson. Still the Mustangs in the ball. Charles-Emile Brunet trying to get a hold of it from the right. Goes back with Clanton Pimentel. And now Daniel Escorcia, the Colombian with the Canadian, the double C for the Mustangs. Can't get the cross though. Try to keep it afloat with a driven pass. Back to Escorcia. Alex Salvo. Back with Landsberg. Charles-Emile Brunet. The feint. Now the Mustangs ease things up here at Alumni Stadium. It's been a game with an interesting phases of power dynamics from both teams coming in.
Yeah, both teams have had their moments of success where they've been able to move the ball, possess it quite a bit. Right now it's SMU. Just a few minutes ago, it was Notre Dame, although SMU is really trying to hit the Irish on the counter. And that's what we've seen. They were just moving with pace. They like to get numbers up quickly. So Notre Dame needs to make sure they don't get caught out ever offensively.
Shot coming in, saved by Kelly. Jaden Mitchell tried to surprise the Irish with a shot right at the border of the box. Goes out for a corner kick.
Yeah, well, Jalen Mitchell has caused Notre Dame all sorts of problems, picks up the ball. All it takes is 2 touches. It's that first touch forward, gets a few steps out in front of the ball, and absolutely whacks it. It's an impressive save from Blake Kelly. I don't think he was expecting Mitchell to shoot that one from such an awkward angle.
Make it save number 27 for Blake Kelly this season. He's only allowed 5 goals. You're going to have to continue putting in the work with how the Mustangs have come to attack tonight in South Bend. Corner kick coming. Salvo was asking for a hold of his shirt. Leon Jays, the referee. Ryan Clanton Pimentel back with Landsberg. Mitchell back in the ball. Charles-Emile Brunet could get a cross into the box. Looking towards the second post, towards Alex Salvo. Header comes in from Wyatt Lewis. And Ian Shaw couldn't clear that ball properly. Alex Salvo's going to get another corner for the Mustangs. It's an uncomfortable game for the Irish.
Yeah, very. SMU just with an air raid. Brunet puts a lovely ball into the box. And the Irish were unable to cleanly clear it out. Leads to SMU's 4th corner of the day.
Brunet back in action. From the corner kick, coming into the small box. Cleared away. Jalen Mitchell now coming in back, and it's an offside. But Blake Kelly again was red in case that played the count. Gonna take another look At the cross, Jaden Mitchell.
Yeah, I feel like all the success SMU has had can be contributed to Jalen Mitchell. He's had an awesome outing here in the first half. Just been a joy to watch, and that was a nice header to redirect the ball back into the box. Even though it was a foul, some cat-like reflexes on display from Blake Kelly.
As we've been trying to hint you throughout the game, the story that the Mustangs record reflects isn't one that you might accurately come to think they're a team that can have those challenges against everyone across the college soccer landscape. But as you said, Chris, they battled it out against Clemson. They battled it out against North Carolina. They can battle it out here tonight against the Irish.
Yeah, they even battled it out against Kansas City, who was ranked to start the season.
Number 18 when they faced SMU. That game ended in a 2-2 draw. Blake Kelly is gonna send the Irish up fourth.
And I think we could also talk about Notre Dame and their 2 draws on the season. One of them was IU Indy, of course, but another one was Michigan, who's 5th in the country, and their loss 1-0, and they were dominated in that game against Indiana, but Indiana's the 3rd-ranked team in the land. So the moments where the Irish haven't picked up a win haven't really been discouraging when you look at who they played against, except for that IU Indy game, which was, of course, a shock, but I think the boost that Notre Dame needed, and it was the fire in their bellies that they needed to go on this 4-game winning run.
The Irish have made 2 quick changes here with Nico Bartlett coming into the pitch, as did Stevie Dunphy in the place of Luke Burden and Wyatt Borshow. AK back 4 is going to get an opportunity from a set piece. The ball goes into the feet of Shan McDowd, cleared by the Mustangs, but still in Irish possession. Mitch Ferguson with an opportunity through the right, gets it on the ball for Spicer. That's going to send it out for a corner kick. And that's what the Irish have as well. In the matter of minutes, of seconds, of 1 or 2 plays, they can really switch what's happening in the game.
7 of the 13 goals Notre Dame has scored have come from set pieces. They have been fantastic. They got really tall center backs. We've seen Von Toon score. We've seen Rosine score earlier in the season. And then Mitch Ferguson with that hat trick against Wright State.
Spicer's going to put the corner in motion. Martin Dominguez tries to get a hold of the ball. He's able to punch it out. Now the Mustangs trying to make a quick counterattack. Mukisa Emmanuel, nevertheless, has to come back and support the defensive effort from the Mustangs. As Daniel Escorcia is going to go back for Enzo Panoso to get a hold of the ball. Long ball looking towards Mukisa Emmanuel. Diego Chua was attentive there. And now a ball towards Stevie Dunphy. We were talking just before the game. The role that Stevie Dunphy had last season as well in some crucial moments for the Irish, perhaps a little relegated, if you want to say, in terms of that role with the entrance of Luke Burden into the team, but still a man that Chad Riley trusts fully coming off the bench throughout the season, his sophomore season now with the Irish.
Yeah, Stevie Dunphy is something of an energizer bunny. He comes in, he always gives 110% whenever he's on the pitch. Chad Riley raves about him, but you're right, JJ. He was somebody that maybe a lot of people expected to fulfill or at least step up in the absence of Matthew Rue, who graduated and was a star forward last year for Notre Dame. That's since gone to Wyatt Borshow. And if you're Dunphy, it's just about maximizing your minutes whenever you're on the pitch. You get an opportunity, you got to take full advantage of it. I know he's got that mentality, so I'm curious to see how he plays and how he reacts now that he's on the field tonight.
This is the 6th game in which Dunphy features this season. He had to score a goal or an assist. Off the bench, Landsberg was getting himself into some trouble, but was able to find Charles-Emile Brunet. And Clanton Pimentel back with Charles-Emile Brunet. The Mustangs want to get back into attack. Mukisa Emmanuel can get a shot. Blake Kelly gets a hold of it. You don't want to leave open spaces for Mukisa Emmanuel to challenge your goalkeeper.
You don't, but he was just hidden in between those center backs before popping into that bit of space right there on the half turn, rips a shot. It's interesting because Emmanuel's a really fast, physical guy. They like the ball at his feet. They haven't really tried to play him in behind yet. And I think they could cause a lot of havoc if they were to make Emmanuel go on some of those forward runs behind these Notre Dame center backs.
Milton Lopez is fouled by Shan McDowell. It could be the first yellow card of the match. It seems that the jersey grabbing from Shan McDowell was enough for John Rush to get the first yellow of the match out. Shan McDowell is warned, and SMU is now going to make some substitutions into the game as well.
Substitutions for SMU, number 30, number 25, Luis Flores, and number 23, Matthias Dick, replacing number 19, Milton Lopez.
Here's Flores, Matthias Dick.
And
number 30 as well for SMU. Stefan Sagomonian coming into the game action. Replacing Ryan Clanton Pimentel, Murkis Emmanuel, and Milton Lopez.
I like the timing of the substitution. 11 minutes left. Put in some fresh legs, and there's actually some more substitutes as well, getting warm on the touchline. Looks like Notre Dame's got 3 more subs on the way, and SMU has a pair. That's a clear foul.
Another foul called by John Rush, and more subs are coming into the game to end things up in the first half. It's a festival of substitutions to end the first half. Nate Zimmerman, one of the men that the Irish bring on.
Jack Flanagan as well coming in. Really talented dribbler. We'll be curious to see how he does. And Nate Zimmerman, somebody who's taken on a much bigger role this season. Was a highly touted prospect out of New Jersey. I'd like to see him get a bit more involved in that attacking third for Notre Dame. He's got tons of potential up there.
The Irish want to prove things from the counterattack. Nico Bartlett on the ball. Adds a hold towards Nate Zimmerman. Jack Flanagan and Zimmerman with their first touches of the match. Daniel Escorcia is going to let it go out for a throw-in. Nate Zimmerman, Jack Flanagan, and Carson Baquero came in for the Irish, and the Mustangs have also made another pair of substitutions with Noah Irvin and Landon Hickman coming into the game.
That's a lovely turn from Brunet.
Charles Emil with the ball towards Escorcia. In motion come the Mustangs. Daniel Escorcia out left for Matthias Dick, the German. With the ball back towards Escorcia. Daniel going a little back into the Mustangs midfield to create with the absence of Jalen Mitchell and what he was doing on the left. Escorcia now takes another role within Hudson's strategy. Enzo Panoso back in the ball. Move towards Escorcia. Ross coming in. Want to get a hold of Fed. John Rush takes foul on Notre Dame. Foul on Diego Ochoa.
Or rather, Ochoa was fouled, and on that SMU attack, really impressed with Brunet, the quarterback for SMU here in the midfield, just at the heart of everything they do, connecting the defense to the offense. He picked up the ball in the defensive third, then had a visible presence all the way up in the attacking third. He's everywhere, JJ.
Mike Kelly's gonna put it afloat with a long throw. It's gonna be headed out by Salvo. As another foul is going on Notre Dame. It's now the 9th foul of the game. 5 of these fouls have been called on SMU. 3 have been called on the Irish side. Jack Flanagan Ball towards Wyatt Lewis. And again, an active piece from the bench within Chad Riley's team after being the starting right midfielder and right winger occasionally as well last season with the Irish. Spicer has come into that place early on. John Rush having a word with Daniel Escorcia, who was asking for a yellow card, playing on Chase Rush after calling that foul. No card there. Anoso in motion. Ball towards Bilats Landsberg. We talked about Landsberg being one of those men that SMU has had on the pitch for the full 90 minutes in all 8 games this season. Similar story can be said of Notre Dame's Wyatt Lewis. Starting the season off in the midfield, then transition into the right back position against Indiana, and has been there ever since.
Yeah, I like him at that right back position because when he gets on the ball, he has tons of time and space to make decisions. I think it really suits the qualities and the attributes he brings forth on the pitch.
Landsberg couldn't get a proper touch of that ball. Gibbs didn't play for the Mustangs with a recovery towards Matthias Dick, and now once again, guess who's in the ball? Charles-Emile Brunet.
As always. And he has great movement off the ball too. He's always finding those holes in the midfield and those gaps to receive the ball. You can see him checking in, checking out, really just dictating the tempo of this game.
And also with a long ball, looking towards Luis Flores. Flores in dispute with Ochoa. The referee had said throw in Mustangs. John Rush said foul on Notre Dame. Foul on Diego Ochoa. And it's going to be another ball that Blake Haley's going to put in the air for the Irish. When you think about the way that the game has unfolded from the 19th minute onward, Notre Dame was able to stop what seemed to be clear attacks from the Mustangs, getting a little bit more of a possession, but also as well retaining that possession in the Mustang side, but not coming with that same clarity that came in the early minutes of the game as a result of Notre Dame's great defensive coverage.
I don't think either side has had a really clear-cut chance on net. SMU more so than the Irish just because of those set pieces that they've had, those training ground set pieces. Very creative. Jalen Mitchell with his one header inside the 18. But Notre Dame in front of the net, they had a couple of balls over the top to Burton, but nothing to really give a true test to Dominguez, and it's something they're going to need to work on in the second half if they are to win this game.
Ball towards Wyatt Lewis. The Irish with an opportunity with the feet of Carson Baquero. Went back with Ferguson, and now Rustin and Ochoa are going to share it and get some seconds down the clock. 4 minutes to go. And how things stands, what would you be telling your team if you're Chad Riley and if you are Hudson?
If I'm Chad Riley, the attackers need to move off the ball a little more. They got to create space, not just for themselves, but for one another. They need to separate. Someone has to stretch the pitch. Someone maybe drop in, emulate what SMU has done. Now, if I'm the Mustangs and Kevin Hudson, Emmanuel has gotten the ball at his feet a lot, and I think that's helped them in their build-up. But I would like to see those runs in behind. It's a Notre Dame defense that is tall. They are physical, but at least try it out, and then keep giving the ball to Jalen Mitchell. He's been fantastic today. He is subbed off now, has been for the past few minutes, but when he was on the pitch, he was lightning fast. His first touch was sublime, and he caused a lot of issues for that Notre Dame defense.
Let's see what both managers come thinking about for the second half. But still a few minutes left here for either of both teams to open things up before halftime, which could change what the situation is like in the locker room. The Irish retaining a little more of that possession in the couple of minutes that have gone by. As Wyatt Lewis gets the ball towards Jack Flanagan, covered by Dick and Charles-Emile Brunet. Forces Flanagan to go back. And the Irish recycle the ball once again. Talking about those threaded balls from SMU, an attempt coming from Notre Dame there through Wyatt Lewis. Lewis keeps it in play with the pass towards Nate Zimmerman. Zimmerman goes back with Lewis. Carson Baquero.
They have space out wide on the left they should exploit, and I like this from Notre Dame. This is also something they did earlier in the half. They were able just to possess the ball. It's a lot more tiring to be on defense, JJ. And if you can possess the ball, have SMU just sit back, it's going to tire them out and give Notre Dame a much better chance in the second half.
Nico Bartlett trying to get a hold of the ball. Don't know if it was still within the legal parts of the body or if it was a handball. Play on says the referee as Dominguez guides the ball for the Mustangs. Charles-Emile Brunet once again looking towards Noah Irvin. Back with Panoso. And he's going to move it through the midfield. Dispossess the Mustangs with two Irishmen. Put in some high pressure. Nico Bartlett on the move with Zimmerman. Zimmerman couldn't find Flanagan, and it's another Mustang ball. Matthias Dick back with Charles-Emile Brunet and Landsberg. When you feel what the Mustangs have been doing throughout the game, it's interesting to note that Charles-Emile Brunet is the central midfielder from the right side of the pitch, as is Willets Landsberg. The presence of Jalen Mitchell and what he was able to do when he was on the pitch becomes even more notable and considerable and worth highlighting when you notice that he plays on the left, despite the Mustangs being creative primarily through the right in this first half.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to know. What I love the most about Mitchell, from what I saw out of him through the first 45 minutes of play, was his willingness to shoot the ball, to put it on frame, and to create opportunities both for his teammates at times and for himself. He was a little selfish in the attacking third. That's how you have to be if you're an attacker. And one more thing about Notre Dame. We talked about it a bit before, JJ. Their press has been spectacular against Louisville, against Pitt, and so many other moments. They have scored goals this season after a high press. They need to do that once again and get back to those ways that made them so successful.
Cross coming in, looking for Flanagan. The ball still in motion. The clock is counting down. Rosin comes with a cross. Borso trying to get a hold of it. Gets a shot. Dominguez gonna get it. And that's the first 35 for you.
Yeah, really fun first half of soccer in South Bend since 1994. Last time they played, it was 2-1, 2013. You know what happened in 2013? National championship for Notre Dame.
The referee blows his whistle again. The clock ticks once again. And we begin the second half on the ACC Network Extra. Chris Daly alongside myself, JJ Lopez. Happy to have you join us. Long ball that was being put in motion by Carson Baquero, who starts the second half for the Irish. Not the usual. But Chad Riley moving things up from his roster management. Luke Burden and Wyatt Borso back in action as well for the Irish, as is KK Bafor that touches the ball here with Borso in between two men trying to keep a hold. Goes out and back for Diego Ochoa to give possession to Alex Rosin. Diego Ochoa. Ball in the feet of Wyatt Lewis. Cross coming in from Lewis, looking for Burden. Seems that the Mustangs were gonna get it out of there without any trouble. Landsberg ended up relying on some defensive support.
I like that from Notre Dame. Make SMU uncomfortable. Just put the ball in the box, see what happens. A lot of times Notre Dame this year, you look at some of the goals they've scored. Wyatt Borso against Pitt, it was just, or Luke Burton even just off his chest, off that Nolan Spicer volley. So if you can do that, you're going to create a lot of issues for this SMU defense.
The Irish attempted to get one from the right. Goes out for the first goal kick off the second half. Kisa Emmanuel not yet on the pitch in the second half for the Irish. Luis Flores leads the Mustangs attack to start things off. But he is back. Jalen Mitchell is back on the pitch for the Mustangs.
Yeah, talked about him a whole lot in the first half, and deservingly so. He was their most dangerous player had a few shots that led to corner kicks, put a nice header into the box and almost led to SMU's goal. And of course did not go in, ended up being called back for a foul, but Jalen Mitchell with all sorts of flashes.
Long ball by the Mustangs, who switch things to the right side of the pitch. Charles-Emile Brunet with the ball towards Alex Salvo. High pressure coming from Wyatt Borshow and Luke Burton, but the Mustangs able to remain and retain possession. Landsberg with another struggle when it comes to clearing. Spicer with the ball towards Borshow. Wyatt Borshow right at the entrance of the box, gonna switch it up for Alex Rosen. The Irish have started things better in the second half. Cross coming in. Dominguez gonna get a hold of it, but Salvo did get there. Ian Shaw. Mitch Ferguson. And there's Diego Ochoa. Back in motion for the Irish.
And Dominguez did get there, but it's those second ball opportunities that are gonna play pivotal for Notre Dame. If they can get on one of those, never know what happens from there. Just pinball in the box. You got to get a foot or a head on it. I like what I've seen out of Notre Dame thus far.
Wyatt Lewis. The ball towards Nolan Spicer. We've seen Spicer shoot from here. Tempted to get back to Lewis. The Mustangs were attentive. The Irish in the last 4 games have really hit it up when it comes to what they are able to provide in the attacking part due to the Borshow-Burton connection, but also what the backline has been able to offer attacking-wise, with Mitch Ferguson leading their goal-scoring count.
Yeah, well, they've been able to provide stability as well to give attackers a lot of opportunities. And those forwards have found their form.
The header can come in. Rosen with a shot, and it just goes wide. Alex Rosen attempted to surprise Mario Dominguez. Out for a goal kick.
Well, that's the chance of a day. It comes off of this long throw-in. And from there, it's that second ball opportunity. Exactly what we were just talking about. Goes in at the right spot at the right time. Just can't put it in the back of the net. But it's a good delayed run. No SMU defender was able to pick him up because they didn't see him.
Martin Dominguez putting that in motion from a goal kick. Goal kick number 2 the second half by the Mustangs. Charles-Emile Brunet is fouled in the middle of the pitch. It's going to be a ball for the Mustangs.
Some nifty footwork, too, to get the foul, and then before he even kicked it right there with the fake pass, trying to fool this Notre Dame defense out.
It's been a story of quality from the Central Arkansas transfer. He was the Player of the Year finalist in 2023 with the Canadian Player of the Year award. He has 8 starts as well this season with 1 goal against LMUCA. Blake Kelly ready to go out through the right with Wyatt Lewis. Charles-Emile Brunet comes to offer some pressure for the Mustangs. Wyatt Lewis forced to go back with Ferguson. Carson Baquero back with Alex Rosen. Rosen now with the ball towards Diego Ochoa. Ian Shaw in between 2 men. Shaw still moving it along. Play on saves the referee. For a similar situation, Shan McDowd saw a yellow card in the first half. Let's see if there's another card after the play is over. Alex Rosen with a cross. Martin Dominguez is going to get a hold of it without any trouble.
I'm surprised there's no whistle being blown right now because that was a pretty clear shirt tug. But it is a physical conference game. .38 minutes
to go in South Bend. Still scoreless. Mustangs want to have a say on that. Early in the first half, a handball was being asked. Play on saves the referee. Landsberg fouled in the middle of the pitch. It's going to be an Irish ball. Mustangs ball, excuse me. An Irish. Second yellow card potentially.
Just a late challenge from Wyatt Borso. It happens when you get tangled up right there. We're going to take another look at it here. It's number 9 in green. Borso just arrives to the tackle a second too late, and nice positioning from Landsberg to put his body in between the man and the ball. Goes down wisely to give the SMU Mustangs a set piece.
Enzo Panoso. The ball in motion with Alex Salvo. Alex back with Jalen Mitchell. Panoso. And Slade Storms. A lot has been demanded from Billy Landsberg to start things off in the second half.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of him on the ball. He's done well with those opportunities. He's a little banged up too after that interaction with Borso. You can see him holding his neck. Some discomfort with Landsberg.
Landsberg, the junior from Denmark, had an assist in opening night. And now a foul scored on his fellow center back, Slade Storms. John Rush doesn't want to hear what Storms has to say. Go back to your position, he said. KK Bafour with the ball now towards Wyatt Lewis. Cross coming from Lewis, looking for Burden. Headed away by the Mustangs, and now back to Martin Dominguez. Chris, as you mentioned, the Irish now relying on those crosses and any trouble that they could cause in the way that the Mustangs defend aerially on the box.
Yeah, I have a feeling if Notre Dame's going to score, it's going to be a scrappy goal. Just putting the ball in the box, getting numbers forward. And that's the main thing it requires, having those midfielders being able to make those runs into the box, because it can't just be Borso and Burton up top. You need to have a few more bodies inside the 18 to give yourself a chance.
Wyatt Lewis gaining some yards for the Irish. Nate Spicer. Nolan Spicer challenge there. And Zimmerman and Vaquero couldn't get a proper hold in the midfield as the Mustangs now have an opportunity from the left. Two-man cover. The SMU attack. That was Mitch Ferguson with the block. Luke Burden to the ground. Alex Salvo recovering the ball for the Mustangs.
With the tackle was Brunet, who also had a really lovely pass to ignite the initial piece of offense for SMU. Keep raving about this guy because he's literally on every single part of the pitch. Every single time SMU has the ball, it seems as if he's at the heartbeat of it all.
The Mustangs again with an opportunity to attack, and Blake Kelly gets a hold of it. It's now SMU trying to switch things up in the scoreboard.
Well, this game has opened up in the second half. It's a great Travella ball, and then Mitch Ferguson gets caught out after that awkward bounce. Luckily, Blake Kelly there to save the day at the near post. Wasn't too hard of a challenge for the goalkeeper.
Irish are now going to have a throw-in. No players warming up from the SMU bench. A couple of Irishmen preparing themselves to get into the game. Burden challenging the ball, and it's going to be a corner for the Irish. When we talk about the crosses, we talk about those crosses coming from open play, but as we said in the first half, the Irish and the set pieces have been best friends this season, with 7 goals from set pieces for them. Nolan Spicer trying to make it 8. from this corner kick. Ball coming towards the small box. Rosen's gonna battle it with Daniel Escorcia. Escorcia wins it for the Mustangs. Daniel Escorcia looking towards Luis Flores. Wyatt Lewis forced to go back and rely on Kelly.
It's terrific work defensively from Escorcia, providing that energy for SMU. Now they can just drop behind the ball as Notre Dame have to reset and rebuild from the back.
They do so with Wyatt Lewis and Ian Shaw. Shaw looking for options in the midfield, and when you think of Ian Shaw as well, you think of how important he has been with the Irish since his first season here. The freshman last year with 16 matches played, 6 starts. Also being able to play as a forward. Now leading the Irish midfield across the season. Starting in 08 games for them so far.
He is a really interesting player too, because he came into Notre Dame with professional experience in MLS Next Pro with the Timbers setup.
Baffert with a shot, and it's off the post, and out it goes. Notre Dame with the most clear opportunity of the match so far from a KK Baffert shot. That's deflected off the shot of the post.
Yeah, it all starts with Baffert just finding himself in a nice pocket of space, puts it on his right, shifts the SMU defense around, and that is close. Unlucky for Baffert. He was from a weird angle all the way out. In fact, he was even able to make it close. It is very impressive. A nice shot there from Baffert.
Martin Dominguez putting it back in motion from a goal kick. Landsberg looking for Flores. Mitch Ferguson and Diego Ochoa are gonna put the coverage that the Irish need to regain possession. And KK Baffert battles it out against Penoso. Goes out for an Irish throw-in.
I want to talk about energy. How about the energy of KK Baffert right now? First, that shot, it lifts all of his teammates up. They go, okay, KK Baffert with a great shot. Now we got to emulate that. We got to play up to his level as well. And then right there with a really nice hustle play to win a throw-in for Notre Dame.
That could have been goal number 6 for KK Baffert on his 3 years. Now 4 with the Irish. During his time with Chad Riley's team, he's provided 17 assists for them. Luke Burden trying to get a hold of the ball. Alex Salvo is going to keep it in control of the Mustangs with a little trouble there, but still Mustangs ball. Luis Flores marked by Ochoa. Great defensive support by Ian Shaw.
And just one last note about KK Baffert. He stole the ball for Notre Dame in their first goal against Louisville. He's the reason why they even got on the board in that game against the Cardinals. So it's his constant energy and willing to fight for the ball that separates him and makes him a mainstay in Chad Riley's team now for 4 years running.
John Rush with the word with Vilas Landsberg after a little push there on Luke Burden. The home fans cheering some boos for the defender. Play on, says John Rush. It is a good crowd here in Alumni Stadium. That just comes to show you how Chad Riley has transformed his soccer program and how much it has grown within the local South Bend community. Saturday night, no home game when it comes to football for Notre Dame this weekend. An away game, but still, the fans showing up for the men's soccer team. The soccer overall has been growing as the Mustangs also grow in this attack. Opportunity coming for a shot, feint. Brunet on the ball. Charles Emile could get a shot onto the hands of Kelly. Save number 4 now for Blake Kelly.
And it was a good opportunity for SMU. It starts with a direct ball over the top, something we haven't seen them utilize a whole lot. And then Brunet with the delayed run and a great first couple of touches to put it on his left foot and have a strike. Unable to find the corners, however.
Alex Salbon and Brunet with a little misunderstanding. There to give the ball back to Notre Dame. Long ball looking towards Wyatt Lewis. The Irish with an attacking opportunity with Spicer now on the ball. Olin Spicer in between two Mustangs. Goes back for Carson Baquero. Carson Baquero. Great ball looking for Keke Bafour. Martin Dominguez attentive, supportive, and in control of the ball. Jalen Mitchell back on the ball. Hasn't necessarily been as explosive and present in the game as we saw him in the first half, but a great move here as Luis Flores is going to be caught offside. So I was saying Jalen Mitchell's second half, not necessarily as similar and as explosive as that first half, but still remains explosive and one to look out.
If you go back to the play SMU just had in which they put a shot on net, it started with an attack on the left side of the pitch. I think SMU have really diversified how they're attacking this Notre Dame defense. They realized they weren't cracking the code in the first half, had to change a few things, and because of that, Mitchell and his crafty dribbling is taking a bit of a lesser role in the pecking order for how SMU is approaching this game.
Let's see what the Irish have to offer. So foul is caught, a handball, says John Runge. Wyatt Borshow spent a couple of consecutive games scoring. That streak ended in that game against Wright State, where Mitch Ferguson was the lone goal scorer with 3 for the Irish. But again, one of those players that could really change things up for the Irish in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, and they found Borshow and his feet inside the 18. He's got a great first touch, was able to shift away from a couple of defenders and just knock the ball into the back of the net. They haven't done that yet. They haven't really found Borshow in that prime area, and a lot of time it's because they win the ball high up on the pitch, and he's just right there, and they give it to him right away. So it's very much situational in terms of finding him in that regard, and something Notre Dame needs to work on with 25 minutes left here at Alumni Stadium.
Ball put in play by Alex Salvo and Charles-Emile Brunet. And so Panoso, also key figure. We've talked about Slade Starnes and about Village Landsberg and what they've been able to do to solidify that Mustangs defense, but Panoso also keeping afloat, playing the full 90 so far into the game. The full 65, I shall say. Hoping to get that full 90. Panoso has started in 08 games for the Mustangs. Man coming from the IMG Academy as Charles-Emile Brunet gets another opportunity through the midfield. Ball left. Cross coming into the box looking for Flores. Mitch Ferguson and Ian Shaw. The ball still in the Mustangs play, and it's into the back of the net. Goal by the Mustangs. Milton Lopez puts the Mustangs up front. They lead 1-0 in South Bend.
It all started with Brunet, who we've talked about time and time again, connects the defense to the offense. And then it's the cross in the box. Eventually, the second ball is going to find Lopez, who calls off Brunet and twisting his body. That is a really tough shot to put in the back of the net. A lot of credit to Lopez. We've talked about his ability before. He scored a brace in the Elite 8 last year against Marshall. Now adds one to his SMU tally. That is a world-class finish from Milton Lopez.
On his 43rd match with the Mustangs, Milton Lopez gets his 10th goal with SMU, 4th one this season. There was a deflection coming in from Mitch Ferguson, but the Irish mistake in this goal comes from that confusion between Shaw Ochoa and Ferguson himself beforehand that make them unable to get the ball out of danger zone. And Milton Lopez attentively continues being there and gets the shot.
Yeah, and even with the deflection, it's just about putting shots up in general, something neither team have really done at a high rate today. You just put the ball in front of the net. Good things can happen. Good things will happen. It's exactly what transpires as Milton Lopez breaks the deadlock. SMU now up 1-0 on the Irish.
Rosen looking for Burton. It's now going to be interesting to see how the Irish respond. They are the ranked team in this scenario. Have won their 2 first ACC games. Trying to keep that hope alive today would mean that they have to score 2 here, but the Mustangs want to have a say on that. Cross coming, looking for Flores. Back in the box, and off the crossbar it is. Close to a second one for the Mustangs. The crossbar denies what could have been the second one of the night. Jalen Mitchell still in possession for SMU. Brunet gets into the box. KK Baffer with the defensive support to get hold of the ball again. Wyatt Borso is going to dispute it. Dispossessed by Enzo Panoso.
The Irish need to drop back in shape and just take a deep breath for a quick second, because that could have turned real bad had SMU put that one away, scoring 2 goals in the span of a minute. Saved by the crossbar. And another great chance for SMU. It's once again a second ball opportunity. Just whacks right off the top of the bar, and a nice bicycle kick clearance as well for Notre Dame.
It was once again Milton Lopez. And now, if things could get any better for SMU, Mukisha Emmanuel, their leading goal scorer, is coming into the game.
Just about to mention that SMU have played this whole half without their star man. He is a guy who ranks 3rd in the ACC in goals with 5 of them, has been so pivotal, especially as of late, as they've tied Clemson, as they've tied UNC. He scored the lone goal for SMU in both of those games, so it's good that they're able to have him back out on the pitch. 5 goals and 19 shots. That's unreal efficiency.
Rosen trying to get across, looking for Burton in the box. Dominguez risking his physicality. Recovering the ball for the Mustangs. It's Milton Lopez. Loses it in the midfield. Chad Riley had spent the whole second half seated in his bench. Now he has stood up and is talking with his assistants, trying to see what they're able to do from the bench or tactically to switch things up for the Irish. Notre Dame has only lost against Indiana this season. That was also the last time that the Irish were shut out. Indiana kept a clean sheet with the 1-0 win to keep afloat of the rankings. At the time, they were ranked number 7.
Would not be surprised to see Chad Riley and Notre Dame make some attacking-minded substitutions, especially as we creep towards that 15-minute mark or so. Maybe take out a defender, play with 3 in the back and wing backs, but there's a lot of answers, or questions that need to be answered, rather, for this Notre Dame team right now, as time is not their friend in this game.
Ian Shaw with the long ball, looking towards Wyatt Borso. Borso gets a hold of it, controls it outside the box. Finds Luke Burton in between 4 Mustangs. Burton goes back for Spicer. KK Bafour in motion with Rosen. Alex Rosen and KK Bafour lead the Irish attack. KK gets it out for a throw-in.
Got to give a lot of credit to Luke Burton, just keeping the ball at his feet inside the 18. He had 4 red shirts around him. Somehow he dazzles around a few of them and is able to just to offload the ball, keep the Irish attack alive.
Throw-in coming in for the Irish into the box. It goes. Header coming in as well. Martin Dominguez controls it without any trouble. There's an Irishman down in pain now, recovered. It was Alex Rosen. John Rush stopped the action for a minute there. Play on, he says now.
That's a tough header because when you have a corner kick, the ball is hit with a lot more pace than a throw-in. So for that header, you have to put the pace and the power on the ball yourself. It's a really tough skill, especially from far out, especially past the penalty spot.
Another Irish throw-in coming in. Fans begin to stomp on their feet. Open at the Irish. Behind the back of the net here. The Mustangs still lead. Throw coming into the box, deflected by the Mustangs defense. A shot that's up top from Dominguez goal. The Mustangs are going to have another goal kick.
This could have been a lot different for Notre Dame had Carson Baquero gotten on this ball. He was trying to call off KK before, and maybe with the energy of the crowd, KK didn't hear Baquero, but if he's able to get on that ball, he's got his body to net and would probably put a much better attempt on frame.
Irish in defense, Mustangs in attack. Another throw-in coming in the midfield for SMU. 18.5 to go. SMU has been able in the past minute to get 3 throw-ins that effectively get a couple of seconds down the clock. And the college soccer rules of the clock counting down, you also gotta know how to get those seconds off the clock. Jalen Mitchell with a cross, looking for Milton Lopez. Ferguson got there first. Now recovered by Rosen and the Irish. Bad pass by Carson Baquero. Jalen Mitchell back in action for SMU.
That's the worst thing you could do if you're Notre Dame right now is give it right back, especially since SMU is content just to possess the ball, take their time. You talk about the clock and them just chewing it off. It's exactly what they hope to do. So we have 17 minutes left. Mustangs more than happy just to pass the ball around this Irish defense.
Also, Emil Brunet controlling the midfield for the Mustangs and leading Kevin Hudson's team's possession. Martin Dominguez putting into play. Landsberg, another mistake by Landsberg in the early build-up. The Irish recover.
This has been their bread and butter, winning the ball back high up the pitch. This time they're not able to put anything on frame immediately after, but at least for the Irish, they were able to win the ball back and give themselves a chance to possess the ball and look for an opportunity.
Ball towards the right side of the pitch. The Irish looking to attack with Wyatt Lewis. Luke Burton's going to put some pressure. Martin Dominguez is going to get there first. Irish are preparing some substitutions. SMU now has some players warming up as well.
It looks like Jack Flanagan and Martin Von Thun are the 2 men standing up for Notre Dame, soon to check into the match.
Daniel Escorcia back with the ball. Foul, John Rush says foul from KK Bafour. Mustangs ball.
Even though he commits the foul, I think the rest of the Irish team need to take a page out of KK before his book, because he has had the most energy out of any defender on this team. Whenever he drops back and helps contribute, he's provided a great bit of support.
Corner kick is gonna come by the Mustangs. The deflection coming of Wyatt Lewis left him on the floor for a few seconds. Clock is still running so far. As are the substitutions as well coming in for Notre Dame. Jack Flanagan and Martin Fontoon. Once again, the Irish defense has been also able to provide an attack. Martin Fontoon is not the exception to that, scoring a goal earlier in the season that would seal the deal for the Irish.
Yeah, scored against Omaha. And with his height, he provides a lot of great opportunities on those set pieces because he's just so hard to defend when there's an aerial ball into the box.
Alex Rosen left the pitch for Fontoon's entrance. So did Luke Burden too. Send Jack Flanagan as a center striker up top with Borso. Cross coming in. Defensive header. Shot by Jalen Mitchell up top. Kelly's goal. Alex Salvo. Looking for Milton Lopez. Martin Fontoon on the coverage. Mukisa Emmanuel with a shot trying to surprise Blake Kelly. Irish ball again from a goal kick. That's the type of plays that an intelligent forward like Mukisa Emmanuel can have in a match that's really on a one-goal margin.
Now you can tell he's a poacher because he looks for any opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net. Kelly was just off his line about 10 yards, and Emmanuel attempts to chip. Very cheeky play, and not the execution he was hoping for.
Chad Radley having a word with John Rush. I think that after Wyatt Lewis was medically checked, he wanted to make another change. But at first John Rush didn't allow it and is yet to allow it again. So Wyatt Lewis, for the first time this season, is not going to play the full 90 on an Irish game. Ball looking towards Flanagan. Jalen Mitchell gets it across. Diego Ochoa. KK back four. And back for Ochoa. KK on the move. KK in motion. Alex Salvo as well. Recovering for the Mustangs. Mitchell. Salvo. Mitchell. And great build-up from the back by SMU. Brunet with the ball left. Back to Charles Emile Brunet. Milton Lopez is asking for it. Brunet continues. Son Brunet with the shot. And it was just wide. Corner kick for the Mustangs. And SMU's just galloping through the game so far in the second half.
Yeah, they have been by far the better team here in the second half. And the inflection in your voice says it all. A nutmeg and then a really well-taken shot into the lower right corner. That makes Kelly dive, and it really makes Kelly have to make a play at it. A lot of times you've seen SMU with far shots, but it's right into the center of the net. It's one of the better ones we've seen.
Corner kick coming by SMU. Daniel Escorcia and Charles Emile Brunet front of the ball. Escorcia, the short corner for Brunet. Daniel Escorcia again on motion. Escorcia with an opportunity to find a teammate. Kelly gets there. But once again, SMU attacking. And the Irish still within a one-goal margin. But with 10 minutes to go, the Mustangs seem closer to the second one and the Irish to draw things even. Cross could be coming in. Stan McDowd back and right back after Wyatt Lewis was taken out of the game. Daniel Escorcia with the ball now. Slade Stearns with Enzo Panoso. Ochoa looking for Jack Flanagan. Wyatt Borso. Flanagan went into the floor. Play on says John Rush. Ian Shaw.
Finally, Notre Dame getting numbers up right now, JJ. This is what they've needed. For so long, they've only had 2 guys in the box. All of a sudden, a lot more green shirts. They just can't get outnumbered constantly inside the 18. You got to leave your 2 center backs at the midfield line, maybe a holding mid, and then have everybody else just push forward and create support offensively.
Alex Salvo. Lopez on the floor. Charles-Emile Brunet is fouled. And a yellow card is going to come for Martin Fontoon.
Well, that's a smart foul from Fontoon because they talk about pushing numbers up. That also means you don't have many back. And Notre Dame had just about 1 or 2 defenders as Red Storm just galloped up the pitch. So a wise piece of defending from Martin Fontoon.
Foul was on the goal scorer, as the Mustangs are going to take advantage of this pause to go back and tuck things over with Kevin Hodgson. The Irish remain on the pitch, and they also talk things through.
And they also remain with only 1 shot on goal today. The last time they've had 1 or fewer shots on goal was in September of 2023 against Akron, who's one of the top programs historically in college soccer. They had no shots on goal in that one, but it's been quite a while since we've seen Notre Dame's offense just be so quiet up high on the pitch.
Hudson and Rush having a word there. Kevin Hudson's going to check in on his player who's still on the floor. Milton Lopez had the goal.
SMU have controlled this second half, JJ, thanks to their midfield. We've talked a whole lot about Brunet, but just altogether, they have combined. The interplay between these players is second to none tonight. They've really just found a universal language out on the pitch, and they've just been moving and grooving right by Notre Dame. They check their shoulders constantly. They have a great energy. They win the ball back quickly. It's caused so many issues for Notre Dame, and it's the reason why SMU has a 1-0 lead.
As Milton Lopez gets back on his feet, let's take a look at the goal coming from Lopez that had the Mustangs leading with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's that deflection that causes a bit of an issue for Blake Kelly, but at the end of the day, it's Milton Lopez being wise. He is a forward. He has that instinct. Just shoot the ball. Good things will happen. Thanks to him, Mustangs broke the deadlock.
Now Nate Zimmerman is on for the Irish. Carson Baquero blocks out. Borso trying to get a hold and a shot deflected. Flanagan and Borso were both asking for a handball. Play on, says the referee.
With how vibrant both forwards were in those handball shouts, I'm a little surprised there's no VAR check with 10 minutes left in the game, but and again, the referee did have a better seat to that than I did.
Charles-Emile Brunet, arguably the man of the match so far.
Yeah, he has been. He's been everywhere. Drops back defensively. He's won the ball back countless times for SMU. And you go back to the goal. He picked the ball up past the halfway line, progressed it forward up the pitch, and was able to deliver that pass, led to a cross, which, of course, leads to Milton Lopez's goal.
Kelly under pressure, forced to go long, look for Borso. Panoso's gonna block him from getting there. Borso was asking for a foul. John Rush doesn't buy. It's now a midfield dispute with 9 to go. Mitch Ferguson sends it back for Spicer to look for KK Bafford. KK back with Shad McDowd. Since the Irish have made changes, their backline looks Diego Choa acting now as a left back, Ferguson and Fontuna as the sole center backs, and Shad McDowd playing as the right back. All three of them have played at least once as center backs for the Irish before now forming the Irish defense. Cross coming in from McDowd, and up top it goes from Dominguez goal. It's going to be a goal kick for the Mustangs.
And back to your point, JJ, you can expect those fullbacks to exploit the flanks of the pitch. That's what they were just able to do with that cross. Unsuccessful for the Irish, but it creates overloads offensively, and that's what Notre Dame needs. They need those numbers. Talked about it time and time again tonight, and not being able to get it. And they might be able to with 7:50 now left on the clock. They just have to be smart to not get exploited defensively if they do get caught out.
But it also seems to me that with 4 center backs on the pitch and 7.5 to go, Chad Riley is also probably hoping for one of his
set pieces.
Exactly. And here he gets one. Let's see what the Irish have to offer. The Irish are going to have a set piece. Currently, all of the men are in offside. Ian Shaw with a cross. Foul on the Mustangs.
I believe it will be on Notre Dame, as there's, or just for the injury rather, a stoppage in the play. But for Notre Dame, you have to get that ball inside the 18. You can't leave it short. You give yourself no chance to do anything with it. And that's a tough break right there for Chad Riley and his team.
Alex Salvo is down in pain. Seven minutes to go for Notre Dame. We're going to take a look at the play that had Alex Salvo down in pain.
Yeah, if you look at Martin Von Thun, number 13, puts an elbow up and just players flying.
And that's at least for me.
Well,
Now for a video review.
Yeah, the referee's going to take a look. Von Thun's on a yellow card, so he could see red if he's to get another yellow. And looking at that right there, I do think that is a yellow card.
It's not even another yellow. I believe it could be
straight red. It really depends about how it looks when it's all slowed down to this referee in the VAR booth right now.
Again, a reminder that within college soccer, it's the referee himself having a look at it. No video assistant official supporting him. It's just John Rush, the monitor, and his thoughts. Could rely on the fourth official, however, for further assistance if he deems it necessary. But so far, it's that monitor and Rush.
He will take more time than usual with this decision, just considering the stakes of the game. It's 1-0 with 7 minutes left, and the player already has a yellow card.
Rush still reviewing it. We're going to have another look at it. Again, you got to determine whether the ball is in play, whether that's a natural movement. The ball is in play. The movement is absolutely not natural.
No, it's not. That is as clear as they come. It's a relatively easy decision, I believe, but
should be a red card for Von Thun here.
As we mentioned, though, 1-0, 7 minutes left. That is why they're taking their time. They want to make sure they get this call correct. Von Thun, a transfer from Holy Cross College across the street in his 5th year of studies now. He was one of the best players in Holy Cross history. equivalent to the modern day Rudy of sorts. Scored a goal against Omaha, and seems like he's pleading his case with a couple of the SMU players.
And I think as well, regardless of whether Fontun ends up getting the red card or not, this pause in a way could favor either of both teams. The Mustangs with an opportunity to recover a little bit of the huge physicality that they've shown. You can see Charles-Emile Brunet, how he's using this opportunity to recover himself in the midfield, but the Irish as well with an opportunity to recollect themselves as the decision is coming in. The movement is there, and John Rush, after review, is gonna give a straight word to Martin Fontun as expected. Martin Fontun is out. The Irish are down to 10 men with 7 minutes to go. And things seem to shine in favor of the Mustangs now here in South Bend.
It's a tough blow for Martin Fontun, and now Notre Dame will have to play with 3 in the back. It's going to create a lot of issues for Notre Dame. SMU needs to take advantage of having this extra man on the pitch. They need to create these overloads, just be able to possess the ball and knock it around, and if they can put one in the back of the net, it would seal the deal.
Mustangs could make a statement win here that would see them rise in that ACC scoreboard and rankings that we saw during halftime.
ACC is so close, JJ. We look at last night with Clemson and Wake Forest. We even look at SMU and Clemson. It was a 1-to-1 game. Notre Dame's already been in tight games. I'm sure they will be as this season rolls along. It's a gauntlet, and you just have to limit your mistakes. That's a big one for the Irish. They've been a bit slower here in the second half. Need to turn it up in these last 6.
And again, that's why we say the end of the Irish roster. Virginia, NC State, Boston College, Wake Forest, Virginia Tech. Oh, tricky matches for the Irish. Same can be said about SMU and what they have left in their schedule. Already with some ranked matchups, including that draw against Clemson and against Kansas City. But a win today could really start switching things up for the Mustangs. You could see the Irish also fall off the rankings.
Yeah, college soccer is crazy with the rankings. I feel like every week we see new teams come in, old teams leave the top 25. It's a never-ending cycle, and once you're in, you just have to do your best to stay.
Charles-Emile Brunet with another recovery for the Mustangs. Somebody make sure that Charles-Emile Brunet has water after this game. He's been everywhere on the pitch.
Oh, we saw it during that short break. He had his hands on his knees, huffing and puffing, because he's definitely logged the most amount of miles out of any player on the field.
5 minutes to go. Irish down to 10. The Mustangs lead by 1. Martin Dominguez is gonna put it back in motion.
And he's got those French roots. He does remind me of fellow Frenchman N'Golo Kanté, who is known in professional soccer for logging about 10 miles a game. That's exactly what Brunet has done today, and he's been terrific.
Emmanuel with a shot. That was gonna go a little more back in time. I was gonna say, even with the looks and how he plays, modern day Emmanuel Petit.
Yeah.
Diego Ochoa. Mitch Ferguson and KK Bafour. You see where KK Bafour is situated in the Irish midfield. It makes you think a lot about the lack of clear attacks that the Irish have had throughout the second half. Jack Flanagan falls in the box. Play on, says John Rush. Try to sell it. John Rush didn't buy it.
And Flanagan's asking for it after the fact too, but he was definitely looking for something. And that's just a tactical piece of soccer. But going back to the tactical piece of soccer, Fontun's yellow card initially, that was tactical, although he did get that straight red, so wouldn't have mattered in the grand scheme of things.
Mitch Ferguson with the ball. Shan McDowell out for the Irish. 3 minutes separate the SMU from their first ACC win of the season. The Irish have 3 minutes to avoid their second loss in 9 games. As Panoso with a huge recovery. KK before as well with the ball. Mitch Ferguson. Diego Ochoa. Ian Shaw. Shaw looking for Flanagan. Charles Emile Brunet once again. It's now Mukisa Emmanuel looking for Escorcia. Ian Shaw's gonna get there first. Shaw with a cross looking for Wyatt Borso. Martin Dominguez gets a hold of it.
Notre Dame's probably got one, maximum of 2 more attacks in them. Time is running out for the Irish.
Dominguez. Sends it out and wide. Where Mitch Ferguson heads it. Nate Zimmerman looking for that ball. Hickman gets there first. Ball for the Irish. Blake Kelly's gonna put it into play. The Irish were looking for their set pieces. Oh, men are out into attack. Kelly's gonna be in charge of putting it in motion with KK Baffer. Cross coming in for the Irish. Header. Sent out by Alex Salvo. And now Mukisa Emmanuel with an attacking opportunity. Low now out in attack. Keeps it in play. He's retaining it in the floor. It's going to be an Irish ball. Retention caught by John Rush. And minute 20 to go. KK Bafour raises his hand, races the ball. Header defensive. Zimmerman with a shot that's deflected and goes out for a corner. A minute to go. SMU parking the bus. The Irish looking to draw things even. Mitch Ferguson short with Zimmerman. KK Bafour looking for the cross. Header by Kelly. Mukisa with a shot. And he could get there first. And the Mustangs will seal the deal. Milton Lopez. 2. Notre Dame 0. Goal by the Mustangs. SMU seals the deal and come out of South Bend victorious. SMU 2, Notre Dame 0.
An exclamation point to a phenomenal second half of soccer. It all starts with this corner kick and some stingy defense from SMU. Blake Kelly, the goalkeeper, almost had it. Emmanuel, he'll get an assist for this as he just knocks it up to Milton Lopez. He wins the track meet, passes it in, and that's all she wrote from South Bend, JJ.
When you see the start of the play and how good the Irish have been in set pieces, it's unexplainable that that goal wasn't sent into the box directly from the corner kick.
They're trying to get creative, especially with a man down, but
it's not a moment to be creative.
It's no. I mean, they had a chance. KK's ball was just a little too short for Blake Kelly, but if he was able to lift that a tad bit more, somebody could get ahead on it. And then from there, it's just ping pong inside the box.
Kelly with a cross. Wyatt Borso in the ball. Borso looking for an opportunity. 4 seconds on the clock. KK Bafour with a shot. And this ends things in South Bend. SMU with a statement win. their first